Hello, and welcome to the Cinemondo podcast with Kathy and Burke and Mark
is not here.
He's on tour with his punk rock band.
So we have another episode of our favorite scenes, which we hope you guys will start sharing your favorite scenes with us because we do want to know. And to do that, you need to like, subscribe, and comment.
And you know what happens when you watch your favorite scenes? It makes you want to watch the movie.
It does.
For the millionth time. Because if it's your favorite scene or one of your favorite scenes, it's like, oh, I love this movie. I want to see this again. And even if you've seen it a million times, which I have with this movie. But do you want to go first?
I'll go first, and I'll preface it by saying this is actually a series. So I just want to warn everybody, I'm probably going to have like 20 scenes along in this series of our favorite scenes from this series because it is one big long favorite scene. Three seasons.
The whole series, the entire is your favorite scene?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, here we go. All right. We're going to talk about Hannibal. Woo! Okay. All right. First of all, that kitchen. Holy shit. Amazing. I think what I love about this scene is that leading into the scene, this is from Hannibal. It's based on the Silence of the Lambs.
That wasn't Pee-wee's Playhouse. I thought that was Cowboy Curtis.
I know.
Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Lawrence Fishburne and Mads Mikkelsen. Mads Mikkelsen is Hannibal Lecter. He, up until this point, nobody's sure that he is actually this murderer.
Right.
So you have this very beautiful, leisurely, very intentional, gorgeous show. And there's lots of violence, but most of it is very choreographed and very elegant, almost dance-like way. Yeah. Like it's beautiful. So when this finally happens, when all of a sudden Lawrence Fishburne realizes, oh, this is the guy.
Yeah.
And we have this explosion of these incredibly strong men, both of them perfectly matched, because usually just like, you think Hannibal Lecter would easily be able to take out a cop, but this is no ordinary cop.
Right.
So it's this great fight between two strong men. You really don't know who's going to win. I mean, you can imagine, but you don't know. And I think my favorite thing about this is Hannibal has been very refined and very polite, and very, he's making gourmet meals. He's, putting on, besides eating people, he's very refined, intellectual. When he comes leaping over this kitchen counter, that's probably one of my favorite scenes, period. That 2 seconds of him leaping. And then we have the great scene at the end of this where he's throwing himself against this door is so
Right.
primal, so predatory, like so insane.
Like it's
he's
the real
"Ah!"
him.
And I love that because right after this scene, the camera has spun and we're seeing a witness. No spoilers. I see a witness comes in and sees Hannibal Lecter, who is this very intellectual, calm, psychiatrist,
Yeah.
throwing himself against a door, and they're kind of like, "What the?" And so it's just such a great, to me, it was sort of like the watershed moment. Like the show shifted at this point.
Right.
They know who Hannibal Lecter is. People that you love are getting hurt and killed. It's like, holy shit. Just
You've been
an
waiting to
amazing
see
scene.
something
Oh,
like this, It
I
was
just
like
love
the whole series is leading up to. It's
Yep.
one of those moments. It was like, this is what you've been expecting or waiting for.
And they delivered. I
Yeah.
mean, this was
It's a
fight.
violent scene.
And I love where they made just perfect use of the kitchen.
Yeah.
Where it wasn't just finding a knife and stabbing. They're finding towels. They're finding forks. They're finding, like a screwdriver. They're finding things you would find in a kitchen naturally, like a gourmet kitchen. That's
Right.
kind of unique and unusual. But the whole show is like this. It's so intentional and so beautiful and unique. I mean, I can't say enough great things about Hannibal. So that's one of my favorite scenes. But you'll see more.
It's a well choreographed scene.
Beautiful.
It's very violent. I mean, it's shot in a way that enhances the pain of it, which you don't often see. Some fight scenes, you see people pummeling each other and beating, and back and forth hitting. But in reality, if you got hit in the face by a person like Larry Fishburne is a giant guy with a strong arm.
Yeah.
If he punched you in the face, it would hurt.
I go
so
down
much.
just like bam, down. But this was Hannibal Lecter, who's used to being beat up, who's used to fighting,
and maybe
probably has a
enjoys
very
pain.
low pain tolerance.
He might even like it in some ways.
So yeah, just great scene.
Yeah.
All right.
It's pretty intense.
All right.
Mine's not intense.
It's the opposite, but it's still sort of about, socializing and,
part of it takes place in a kitchen.
Right. See?
And but it's a scene that it's a scene from one of my favorite movies, and it's an introduction of a character, not necessarily my favorite scene in the film, but it's a really beautifully staged and paced introduction to a character. And I just did one with the same actress.
That's right, Harold and Maude.
Yeah, had Ruth Gordon. It's another scene with Ruth Gordon.
I would say too that this movie, directed by Roman Polanski, the whole movie again, like Hannibal, every scene is a favorite scene.
Yeah,
like there's so many set pieces, and they're not just big, loud, crazy fights like Hannibal.
Right.
But every scene has a moment that's so iconic, and so it's like that's a great sense of direction and character and purpose for the film. So I think it's really well done.
One of the creepy things about this movie to me is the fact that some of the scenes and characters and situations kind of almost go into dark comedy in not a sitcom way, but like a 60s comedy,
right?
Like a Billy Wilder comedy or something. And this scene introducing Ruth Gordon is funny.
Let's roll it.
And yet it's also, if you know the film, it's deeply disturbing.
There's an undercurrent. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see if I can make this happen. Oh, how is it not working?
It's a big ad for NBC.
Oh.
You have to hit play.
Oh. Oh, this is your Hannibal one again.
Oh.
Okay. Here we go.
We're professionals.
So perfect.
I love that.
How are you? Fine. May I come in a minute?
Yes, of course. Please do.
I just come over to thank you for saying those nice things to us the other night.
Oh, no, please.
Poor Terry. We thought maybe we failed her some way. Though her note made it crystal clear we had, and she'll never know how helpful it was in such a shock moment. So I do thank you. Roman does, too. Roman's my hubby.
You're welcome. I'm glad I could help.
Yeah. Well, she was cremated yesterday. Now we gotta forget and go on. It won't be easy with only children of our own. You have any?
No, we don't.
No? Well, there you go. Oh, that's a nice. Look how you put the table in. Isn't that interesting?
I saw it in a magazine.
Oh, my nice paint job. That's nice. Where is that? That's the TV room?
Well, only temporarily. It's going to be a nursery.
Oh, you're pregnant?
No, not yet. I hope to be as soon as we're settled.
Wonderful. Well, you're young and healthy. I'd have lots of children.
We plan to have 3.
I didn't see what you did to this apartment. The woman had it before. Was a dear friend of mine.
I know. Terry told me.
Oh, did she? You two had some long talks together in the laundry room.
Only one.
Oh, Oh, my kidding. Oh, it looks so much brighter. Will you pick a chair like that?
I'm not sure, really. I think about $200.
Where's your hubby do?
He's an actor.
I knew it. I said it to Roman yesterday. He's so good looking. What movies was he in?
No movies. He was in 2 plays called Luther and Nobody Loves an Albatross, and a lot of television and radio.
Listen, Rosemary, I got a 2-inch thick sirloin steak sitting defrosting right this minute. Why don't you and Guy come over and have supper with us tonight? What do you say?
Don't do it.
Well, no.
No, really, that's very kind of you.
Listen, it'd be a real help to us. First night we'll be alone since.
Are you sure it wouldn't be too much trouble for
Oh,
you?
honey, if there's trouble, I wouldn't ask you.
All right, you go ahead and count on us. I'll have to check with Guy, though.
Listen, you tell him I won't take no for an answer. Oh, here's your mail. Now, Ed.
Oh my God.
That is a great introduction of a very deeply threatening character.
And also everything she said was sort of in a weird way. She's sizing her up. She's absorbing the information and she's going to use it later.
Yeah.
And I love that too. Like she seems friendly.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. But I gotta say, I do love the dress that Mia Farrow was wearing and that headscarf that was
Right.
huge, but it
Big
was
polka
super
dots.
awesome. I loved everybody's wardrobe.
And the the stuff
Oh,
that
yeah.
you keep hearing, you hear her
So
bracelets jingling.
I love that.
And the staging of that is something you don't, I mean, you can study that, the way the way it's framed and the way it follows her, the way she goes away from the camera off down the hallway to into the place where she isn't welcome. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you're going to go further into the house. And then at the end of the scene, the camera stays in the kitchen as she goes back to the door and we just see him through the door. And that, I just love that attention to psychological detail where you feel like you're experiencing this with Rosemary, and there's a little weird edge to her, to Ruth Gordon's character. There's an edge to her, even though you might think, oh, she's this likable neighbor lady, oh, she's going to invite us over. But I don't know. I just love it.
It's like when you move to a new place and there's one person just a little too friendly, a little too pushy, just a little too interested in your life. Like I love how they kind of push it just a little past the comfort level.
Yeah.
And then you also feel like, I love where the camera placement in the scene, because you feel like you're a person actually in the scene with them. Yeah. And you're kind of like lurking behind Rosemary going, I don't know about this. And so every time they're moving, the camera is moving like you would be a person getting out of the way or looking down a hallway. And I just thought that was a really, really great sort of ramping up of what was to come.
Because it's a bit of a violation when she comes in. She sort of just blunders on into the place and she starts looking at her stuff. And, this is your home. And she's going, oh, I want to see what you did down there. Yeah. And she goes, oh, how much do you pay for a chair like this? And she's looking at the labels on the I guess she's looking at the expiration dates.
Yes. So one great scene of many, which I'm sure we'll show more, but I like that scene because it wasn't the one we could expect. There's a million, everyone would say the ending of Rosemary Baby or the phone booth, or this was a cool kind of offbeat choice. Good job.
Cool. Well, those are some favorite scenes. Yeah. There's a million of them.
Thank you. Let us know what your favorite scenes are. We really want to know. Bye.
Bye.